Yard. My kids love swimming. They spend most of their time in the pool. Maybe I'll go for a swim today when I get my kids. Nice jacuzzi, nice sitting areas. I'm outside a lot. I do a lot of recreational things outside. And this is my basketball court. We spend a lot of time on the basketball court. Good exercise, little workouts. A lot of money's been made here and lost. People don't think I can play basketball, but I actually ain't that bad. And I'll be having a lot of kids, my little nephew, them, they love basketball, cousins and stuff. So I wanted like 3 little hoops where everybody could use the whole court or use different courts or whatnot. This playground actually comes from one of my old houses. In the future, I think I'll build me a gazebo over here or something. And this is another part of the backyard. Of course, if you're gonna have a bachelor pad, you gotta have a grill. The chef comes and get on the grill. This is actually more of my outdoor kitchen, I like to call it. The stove outside, dining table. I love this area.
In late 2024, Lil Baby filmed himself walking through Oakland City, the exact neighborhood in southwest Atlanta where he grew up, where he dropped out of school, where he started dealing, where he caught his first charges. And what he was doing on those streets wasn't nostalgic. He was buying property. Multiple homes and apartment buildings on and around the same corners where he once had to hustle to survive. And what he said about why he was doing it was even more specific. He wasn't just buying for himself. He was putting those properties in position for his sons, Jason and Loyal, to inherit. He was showing them, on camera, on the actual streets where his story began, what generational wealth looks like when it's built deliberately and passed down on purpose. The same block. His name on the deed. That's not a metaphor anymore. To understand how that moment happened, you have to go back to where everything started. Dominique Armani Jones was born December 3, 1994, in Oakland City, southwest Atlanta. His father left when he was 2 years old, leaving his mother to raise him and his sisters alone. The neighborhood wasn't the Atlanta that shows up in travel content. It was the Atlanta where kids grow up fast, where the streets are the most immediate economic reality available, where the school system and the street system are competing for the same kids at the same time. He was bright. People who knew him say he picked up numbers fast, understood patterns, had a high street IQ. But the academic environment never held him. He dropped out of Booker T. Washington High School in the 9th grade. By his early teens, he was dealing, catching charges, possession with intent to sell in 2012, another marijuana charge in 2013, then another arrest in 2014, that resulted in 2 years incarcerated. That prison stint is where the story turns. He came out in 2016 different, not broken, different in the sense that he had clarity about what he wanted his life to look like, even if he hadn't yet figured out exactly how to build it. Quality Control Records was operational. Coach K, the label's co-founder, had watched Dominique before the incarceration and believed in what he saw. When Baby came home, Coach K pulled him into the studio. At first, he wasn't even trying to rap. He was in the building because that's where the movement was. Migos were cutting records, other QC artists were grinding. He was observing, and then he started rapping, and almost immediately, the people in that building knew something was there. By April 2017, less than a year out of prison, he dropped his debut mixtape Perfect Timing, then Harder Than Hard in August, then a collaborative tape with Marlo in October, then Too Hard in December, led by Freestyle, a record whose music video racked up hundreds of millions of views and announced to anyone paying attention that Atlanta had a new voice that wasn't going away. That was all in 1 year. In 2018, his debut studio album Harder Than Ever debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200. The Drake collab Yes Indeed peaked at number 6 on the Hot 100. That was the crossover. Then later that year, Drip Harder with Gunna produced Drip Too Hard, a record that went diamond. 10 times platinum. That's 10 million units. And it peaked at number 4 on the Hot 100. Street Gossip that same year debuted at number 2. The consistency wasn't normal. He wasn't chasing trends. The trends were chasing him. Then came My Turn in February 2020. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, sat at the top for 5 weeks, went quadruple platinum, and became the best-selling album of 2020 across all genres. Not just rap. Everything. In a year where people were locked inside consuming content constantly, Lil Baby's album is the one that captured the culture more than any other project from any other artist. 4 months later, in June 2020, he dropped The Bigger Picture. a politically charged, emotionally direct song about police brutality and what it means to come from where he came from and watch the world respond to Black Death the way it did. It debuted at number 3 on the Hot 100, received 2 Grammy nominations, and Baby donated the proceeds to bail funds and criminal justice reform organizations. He turned a commercial win into something that connected him to his community at a level no platinum record alone could manufacture. His 2021 joint album with Lil Durk, The Voice of the Heroes, debuted at number 1. A Hurricane feature with Kanye and The Weeknd won him his first Grammy for Best Melodic Rap Performance. Then in 2022, It's Only Me became his 3rd consecutive number 1 album, and in January 2025, Wham extended that streak to 4 albums, 4 number 1s, in a row. Now let's talk about what that music run built financially, and how he converted it into something that outlasts any single album cycle. His 2023 world tour grossed over $40 million. His per-show fee sits above $400,000 a night, not including merchandise. His feature rate, what someone pays to get his voice on their record, is between $300,000 and $350,000 per verse. Streaming alone generated approximately $9 million in 2020 from My Turn's dominance. Brand partnerships with Budweiser, Mountain Dew, and Lynx add endorsement income on top of all of it. But the move that separates rich artists from businessmen is converting active income into passive income. And that's exactly what he did. In 2017, the same year he dropped his first mixtape, he founded 4PF, 4 Pockets Full. Not just a brand name, a philosophy. 4 Pockets Full means everyone around you eats. Wealth doesn't sit concentrated in one person. Under 4PF, he signed 42 Dugg and Rio Rodriguez. Then, in August 2023, he launched Glass Window Entertainment, a new label in formal partnership with Capitol Music Group and Motown Records. Not just a name change, but Baby stepping into the room as a full industry partner with major label infrastructure behind him. The debut signee was Rio Rodriguez, and the deal was reported worth multiple millions. That same year, July 2023, he opened Seafood Menu Restaurant and Lounge on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Southwest Atlanta, near the Atlanta University Center. Not in a trendy neighborhood built for out-of-towners, right in the heart of his community. He partnered with an established Atlanta restaurateur, brought in his sister Dodger Jones as a business partner, and hired a renowned Black female designer to build the interior. 7 signature butter sauces. Southern seafood dishes with original twists. And the long-term vision isn't just one location. Baby has spoken about franchising the concept and getting the sauces into retail stores. That's not a celebrity vanity restaurant. That's a food brand being built on a rapper's platform. Then there's the real estate. He owns a luxury Atlanta mansion valued at over $5 million, additional investment properties across Georgia, generating rental income. But the most significant move is what he did in Oakland City in late 2024, buying multiple homes and apartment buildings on the same blocks where he grew up, placing them in his sons' names as generational assets, and doing it with cameras rolling so Jason and Loyal could see exactly what their father was building and why. He went back and bought the block, not as a gesture, as a calculated investment in his family's financial future and his community's economic trajectory simultaneously. He also completed the Launching New Ventures program at Harvard Business School. The same man who dropped out in the 9th grade walked through those doors and completed a business education at one of the most prestigious institutions in the world. That's not a feel-good headline. That's evidence of a mindset. At every stage of his career, he's been working to sharpen the tools for the next level. The community investment runs parallel to all of it. He paid college tuition and application fees for Atlanta students who couldn't afford them. He launched scholarships at Booker T. Washington, the same school he dropped out of. He visited the White House to discuss social justice reform. And in 2025, he formalized everything through the Jones Project, his official nonprofit. The 5th annual Back to School Fest at West End Production Park served over 4,000 students and families. Free shoes, book bags, uniforms, haircuts, food, carnival games. And Baby didn't just write the check. He stayed the whole event. A parent there said it directly. A lot of artists just throw money and don't come. But he came and actually stayed. His philanthropic investment and his financial investment are working in the same direction. He owns property in the neighborhood he's also pouring community resources into. The community gets better, the properties appreciate. That's not coincidence. That's strategic. Stack it all together. Streaming revenue running 24/7, publishing royalties from years of catalog, label income from Glass Window, restaurant and franchise ambitions, a real estate portfolio in a city that keeps developing, endorsement deals, a Harvard business education protecting him in every room he walks into, and a community presence that is active and genuine. That's not a rapper who got rich. That's a diversified economic entity that happens to have a rap career at its center. He's 30 years old. He's been making music professionally for less than a decade. The story we told today isn't a finished chapter. It's an origin story. The same corners where Dominique Jones once had to survive now have his name on the deed. And the same drive that pushed him to drop 4 projects in his first year is still running underneath everything he does. The empire is real, and it's still being built. What do you think Lil Baby's next move looks like? Music, business, or both? Drop it in the comments. Subscribe for more breakdowns on the people building something that actually lasts.